Welcome into the M&M State of Sports podcast. We are a day late and a dollar short. We had some car troubles. We had, went to a game yesterday. So we're a day late and a dollar short. So I apologize to Morgan, but
all good.
We're doing 2020 or 2021 in review, but I got the boys with me. Boys, how you living?
Good.
Short and sweet.
Were you happy with that win last night, Morgan?
Yeah, that was good. I mean, obviously, it was a pretty good win. We can relax for a couple weeks and get to it in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
3 weeks really.
Got the bye. Going through Lambeau. Woo-hoo. Here we go. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna wrap up 2021. We got our male athlete of the year, female athlete of the year. We all have different picks for this. We're going to wrap that up. But before we get into that, let's talk about the passing of John Madden, who I know for us three had anybody our age that played video games growing up, had a huge impact on us. So just sad news. I was actually sad when I that came across the ticker.
Yeah, that's a big loss.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he hasn't been in the limelight for quite some time.
Yeah.
But he's in our lives every year, all year with the games and everything like that anyway. So he's never not really in our lives.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, so being a Packers fan, it hits a little bit different because it was pretty well known John Madden loved being at Lambeau and being around Green Bay and the city of Green Bay. And he basically narrated almost all of Brett Favre's career. You think Brett Favre, the second name you think of is John Madden. That's the kind of impact John Madden had on the game of football, where it's not another teammate. It was an announcer who, the Brett Favre and all the memes made out of it. And, he talked about Green Bay. Yeah, exactly. But everybody knows that. So being a Packers fan, it hit a little different just because, he voiced so many Packers games. It hit a little different. It sucked. Did you guys see the documentary on Christmas?
I did not. No.
I watched it. Yeah, I didn't see it when it was released, but I've watched it since.
It's very good. I didn't realize the amount of not impact, but the level of appreciation every player, every other coach, every other owner, anybody who John Madden knew, they loved him. It's not often you get a guy that is just universally loved by every single person he meets.
I mean, I was just talking about this over New Year's Day dinner with some people, and he's just somebody who, as famous as he was for it, as seriously as he took it, he never forgot that it was a game and it was about having fun and stuff like that.
Yeah,
all the calls and everything, and I mean, just that impact will last forever. I mean, Madden, the video game, will be around forever. Obviously, we think about him as, the broadcaster, but he was also a coach for the older people, won a Super Bowl.
He's got the highest win percentage,
right?
Any coach who's got 100+ wins.
Which is insane, and it's sad. I mean, he was football. I think that's the best way to put it. And I don't think there's a better name to go forward for, video games and just in general for football than John Madden. He was football.
Yep. Yeah. I guarantee he gets the 2022 cover.
Without doubt.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, and I mean, he should be on the cover every fucking year. I don't need these players. Put John Madden.
Well, it used to be John Madden.
It was, yeah.
It was him popping through the cover like the Kool-Aid man.
It was, and the thing is that people don't really get into too much. Is he had a big impact on that game? He wasn't going to put his name on something if it was going to be shit. He had to make sure that it was the original football.
The original one, they wanted to do 7 players because that's all they could fit. And he's like,
correct.
Nope, I want 11 players or it's not football.
Yeah. And that's something. Imagine if they did put out one with 7 players, or if it wasn't John Madden, you know what I mean?
Right.
Do you think EA has this this run? Probably not,
I can't remember if it was something else that I'd seen or if it was in that documentary, or probably it was taken from that part of the documentary. But he used to have the game developers over his house.
Yeah.
Talking to them, making sure everything was as accurate and realistic as it could possibly be, because he didn't want to put out a subpar product.
Which is awesome. I mean, I hope him and Pat Summerall are up there and, having calling a good game right now. So, all right, let's move on to the year in review. Which award do you guys want to start with?
Doesn't matter to me.
Do we want to work from the bottom to the top, kind of like they do in most awards?
Started from the bottom. Now we're here.
Sure.
Or do you want to just go male and female right away?
Well, let's go ladies first. Female athlete of the year. Nick, you got it. You started off.
I went with Candace Parker.
Oh, great pick.
She brought the Chicago Sky their first championship at 35 years. 30 was she 34, 35 when they won it?
35.
But hometown hero.
Yeah.
Can't ask for a better twilight of a career.
She was coming off a major ankle injury too.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, she had just like a pretty impressive year all around, and she won AP's Female Athlete of the Year for the second time in her career after her rookie year. So Candace Parker was my choice.
Hi, Morgan.
I too also had Candace Parker.
Nice.
So
Nice.
yeah.
Anything else you'd like to add?
Not really. I mean, it was really her coming home story. I mean, she wanted to get Chicago another title. It's really their first title since Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Chicago Sky's first title in team history.
Ever.
So.
Yeah. But yeah.
I went Olympics. I went Katie Ledecky.
Nice.
You know, a lot of gold medals. Obviously, the Olympics were weird this year with no fans being there, but she still went there and performed. And it's a very, prideful pick. USA all the way, baby. All the way. All right. I'm actually going to mix it up on you guys. I want your story of the year.
Story of the year.
Yep.
All right.
You go first. Boom.
All right. My story of the year was the Atlanta Braves getting to the World Series. After starting off the season where it looked like it was going to go pretty bad with Acuna Jr. going down, but that team still fought along and eventually taking down the Titan that is like the Houston Astros in baseball. I just thought it was an overall good story. It was a feel-good story, and it was great for the sport. I couldn't be happier.
And there it is. That'll be the last time you'll see Freddie Freeman hitting a home run for the hometown Braves.
Good call, Mr. Buck. I just because I have it as well, I agree with Nick. Like it was, I mean, in Atlanta too, like that home run that I forget who hit it. It was the lefty though. The home run, and you just see the fans all go absolutely ape shit the second the ball comes off the bat. It was good to see that. It's good for the sport to, have these teams win because it shows that little bit of what's the word I'm looking for?
Hard work.
No, it's not hard work. I'll think about it. You go ahead, Morgan.
I didn't go with serious. I went with the Bishop Sycamore. Just because I thought it was such a wild story and I wanted to bring it back because it was just I mean the random football team full of 30-year-olds getting beat by a bunch of high schoolers. It's just one of the most outrageous stories I've ever heard being on national television.
I mean, I just can't wait for the 30 for 30.
Right. But I went with Bishop Sycamore just because I thought it was a very interesting story.
I mean, it's a great story.
That is perfect. I love that, Morgan. I absolutely love that. That just made my day.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on. Let's do game of the year.
I don't know. This might be unanimous. I think it's a no-brainer for me. The game of the year was the Field of Dreams game.
Oh.
It was just like everything I wanted. That game, like the graphics, the vibe of the game, everything was so perfect. It was such like a nostalgia fest watching that game too. Plus to end it on a walk-off. Just I can't wait for the next one. That was the game of the year for me. Also, like just a huge highlight of the year.
Well, we're going to the next one, so
easily.
That's what's happening. So
my game of the year, you know how big of a college basketball fan I am. Taking it back to the Final Four. UCLA versus Gonzaga. It was a back and forth game. Drew Timme hits a game winner to win the game, sending Gonzaga to a national championship game where they ended up losing, so that was very funny. But it was a very good back and forth game. The whole game, I think the whole game was within 4 points the whole stretch, which is kind of wild. But it was one of the best games in a while, and it was just it's college basketball, so I love March Madness.
Fair enough.
Fun to watch.
My game of the year is Alabama versus Auburn 4 OT game. That game was it was an incredible game to watch just because like obviously Alabama was favored and everything, and they were like getting their ass kicked, and then they came back, like drove down the field, and the new college football overtime rule, which I didn't know, which is kind of sad. Like
after three overtimes,
it's just 2-point conversions, one play, and you go. Like that is awesome. Like
That's wild.
Like put that in the NFL, please. Like, oh my God, that was incredible. It was a great game. That was my game of the year. And I mean, Alabama hopefully wins another national title here. So, all right, hopefully. We're gonna let's go to disappointment of the year.
A disappointment of the year is more of a blanket statement, and it's ramped up more so within the past few weeks, but it doesn't change how I feel about it. Especially starting from the Olympics all the way to now. It's COVID being back in sports. It's just completely.
Weren't
you the one of the
text in the group that said,
"Yeah,
I don't want to hear about COVID.
I was. But the more I thought about it, I literally couldn't think of anything more disappointing than that in sports this year. I mean, yeah.
All right.
Unless we just talked about John Madden, obviously. But
I mean, I don't disagree with you.
Overall, it's just like all these games, the potential of the games that could be, that won't be because players are gone. It's the like you said with the Olympians, not being able to. Basically, a lot of these younger athletes work their entire lives to perform here, and they can't even perform it in front of people. Like it's just sad.
I agree, Morgan.
So my biggest disappointment's personal to me, the Green Bay Packers. We get the number 1 seed, we have the MVP, and we choke the game away to Tom Brady in the NFC Championship. So that's, biggest disappointment for me was not getting into a Super Bowl.
That's fair. My biggest disappointment is something that is not sports related, but just like getting older. And it's the realization that the last piece of my childhood in sports left is LeBron James, and it's coming to an end, and I can see it. And it's just like, damn, that fucking sucks.
Because he's playing 40 minutes at night.
But still, they're not winning,
literally dominating.
But like the light is coming to the end of the tunnel. Like, you know what I mean? And like that is like the last piece of childhood. That's like Vic's been done.
He's got his son coming. You'll be fine.
Vic's been done. Griffey's been done. But I don't obviously, I'm sure his son's going to be a great player, but just like the impact of like having an athlete be around when you were in middle school to now me turning 30 this year is like,
I've already been through all this. So
these are the days of our lives.
I know, this is it. So that's my biggest disappointment of the year is just basically getting older. That's it.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Best pro team of the year. Give it to me, Stash.
My pro team of the year, I went with the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Nice.
It's very difficult for an NHL team to go back to back. It hasn't happened in more than almost half a decade. I think 6 or 7 years that it hasn't happened, at least back to back. And they're in pretty good standings right now to make a third run at it. So yeah. I think they're definitely the team of the 2021.
Fair. Morgan?
I mean, I wouldn't be me if I didn't do it. Green Bay Packers are also my team of the year. It wouldn't be me. I couldn't bring myself to pick a different pro sports team, so I'm just going with Green Bay.
Fair enough.
Okay.
It's a bit of a cop-out.
Best pro team?
Did you really expect anything else?
No.
Again, I didn't disappoint.
Best pro team of the year? Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Just, it is what it is. Brady gets another Super Bowl. They go into Lambeau. They beat, the Packers in Lambeau. They absolutely annihilate the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. And I mean, I'm not going to be shocked if Tom Brady goes back into Lambeau and wins another one.
Shut the fuck up there.
My biggest disappointment of the year is actually Morgan choosing the Green Bay Packers.
For every category.
Yeah.
I almost went every category. I thought about it.
you must have tried
I
so
had
hard,
my backup. I had my backup list where I was going to go.
You fucking kill me. Oh, man. All right. The big one, male athlete of the year, Stash Cuddy. Go ahead.
Do we still have moment of the year, too? We got moment, too.
Yeah.
Don't forget.
Well, I mean, For me personally, I have to do male athlete of the year than my favorite sports moment right after. You know
so
what I
this
mean?
is this
my
is more a
God.
build up for yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. My male athlete of the year, it's without question, it was Shohei Ohtani.
Great
Dude
pick.
won the MVP. I mean, 46 home runs. And I also saw today that his WAR on the season was a 9.1, which was first in the league by a long shot.
Mhm.
Second place was Zach Wheeler with a 7.7.
Damn.
So nobody was even close to Shohei Ohtani this year. He's by far the best male athlete of the year.
Okay. Morgan.
Tell us why Aaron Rodgers is the best athlete.
It's Aaron Rodgers. I think it's him picking up his third MVP, and then he pretty much solidified his fourth MVP last night. So he's going to win back-to-back MVPs. And
Is he? Are they going to give it to him?
I mean, if they don't, then they just don't like him. But he's still the fourth.
They definitely don't like him.
He's won his fourth MVP, even if the writers don't give it to him because the writers are dumb. So,
All right. You want to know what's actually funny here, Morgan, is I don't even think Aaron Rodgers is the best male athlete in the state that he lives in. It is Giannis. Giannis Antetokounmpo is the male athlete of the
that's
year.
an absolute joke. People care way more about the Packers than the Bucks in that fucking state.
I mean, listen, he brought a title to a small market. He stayed the course. That ring is, as impactful as, Dirk's ring with Dallas. It is. It 100% is. And to have that game, and we're just going to get right into the favorite sports moment of the year, Giannis winning the title and dropping a 50 piece and me getting to talk shit to Morgan. That was my favorite sports moment of the year. Because just like the impact on that, like that title, like is going to last forever in Milwaukee, man. Like he did it, like growing up, like you watched like Giannis grow up in front of your eyes and the kid's only 26 and the shit that like he's still doing, they're still a good basketball team. They could repeat, and just that title, that 50, that'll never be forgotten. And I mean, I brought it up previously. I literally think he's the second greatest power forward of all time already. He's only 26. So
I will say, to Matt's credit of his moment of the year being like that performance in the finals, that did feel like a real old-fashioned solid NBA championship finals. Like it felt old school.
A 50 piece too. Guy can't even shoot a jump shot and he dropped a 50 piece, just dunking people through the rim. He had so many moments in those finals. Like
everything
that block
he needed to
Ayton,
do.
Yeah, the block on Ayton where he like takes a step and goes all the way across the paint. Huge block. And then the alley-oop in that friggin' game where Chris Paul, I mean, shocker, Chris Paul playing dirty, shoves him midair and he still puts it in. Like that's, you just know. I don't know why you don't like him.
Then Morgan, what was your sports moment of the year?
Yeah.
Not a homer pick. Well, unless you like America, I mean, then it's a homer pick. I had Suni Lee winning the all-around gold medal in the Olympics in gymnastics.
Yep.
Simone Biles had whatever she had was going on, so she backed out, and Suni Lee got it to her time to step up and shine, and she wins the all-around in gold. So,
it's a good one.
Yeah,
good one. Nick,
my moment of the year was a little more just like wholesome and like I was happy to see it than anything. But my favorite sports moment of the year was overall Trey Mancini's performance in the home run derby. I just thought it was
that's a good one.
Awesome to watch, especially coming off of the medical history he did coming back this year and just putting on a laser show in the home run derby. And obviously he wasn't going to beat Pete Alonso because that guy fucking eats home run fastballs for breakfast. But it was just it was really fun watching Trey Mancini perform in that home run derby. Yeah,
it was a good home run derby. It was fun. And I mean, you get Ken Griffey Jr. on the broadcast. I'm definitely going to tune in. So
yeah,
I mean, he's just so
plus,
cool.
I mean, Colorado. I mean,
yeah, the ball's just flying out of the park.
They were just cruising.
All right, that is it for our year in review. Do we have anything else that we would like to add before we get into the weekly wrap up?
No, that was it. It was a good year for sports, and
it was.
I'm excited for next year or this year now. Actually,
yeah, this year we are
in the future.
We are in the future. We are in the new year, and I mean, what did we start this? When did we start the podcast? May? Like,
yeah,
we're 5 months away from being a year already, guys. Like that is pretty impressive and insane. And we were only late one time. So
yep.
And we did all the holidays, so
ever happen again. Yeah, we didn't have a holiday break, so you guys can all eat shit.
Yeah, you guys can wait a day. All right. let's get into the weekly wrap up. We're going to do NBA, college football, and then we'll talk about everything else. And obviously our beloved Seattle Kraken. But let's talk NBA real quick. Ja is on a tear for the Grizzlies since returning from his injury. 40-piece against the Lakers. He's nasty.
I think 31 the next night. Like I said it when he came out. He's a star in the making. The kid's an absolute stud. He's got Memphis in what, the 6 or 5 seed in the West?
Yeah, they're playing
which is insane.
You know, the Grizzlies are just a team where every year they give you a little bit of playoff hope.
Yeah,
and you're like, the Grizzlies could do it, and then it just doesn't happen. That year with Rudy Gay and like Zach Randolph and all them was probably the closest we were gonna get.
With Gasol, yeah.
But
grit and grind.
Yep.
I'm excited to see where Ja's going to be like 2 years from now, because if he gets a jump shot, holy shit. Like, he's just so athletic, sees the floor really well. And he's just a dog, man. Like, he's just like, he's got it, you know.
Plus,
he sure does.
You know, like you were just saying earlier, even what we were talking about in general with the Braves, the Bucks, it's just exciting to see some of these smaller teams make a nice push.
No, I agree. It's good. It's good for the leagues, I think, to have like these smaller teams. Like, look at Milwaukee winning a championship. That is good for the league. Like, you know, you're seeing different faces and all that good stuff.
People are not going to be as fatigued watching the same people in the fucking championships every year.
I'm sure people were sick of watching LeBron, you know, play in the finals for a decade straight. So I get it. You know, I get it.
I mean, I know.
I wasn't, but you know. Speaking of LeBron, let's talk about him. He's absolutely dominating here in his year 38. He turned 38, right?
No, I thought he turned 37.
It's 37.
Oh, well, happy birthday, LeBron. It was last week. Happy 37th birthday. Very impressive what you're still doing in, you know, year 19, being a father of 3. You know, I mean, it's just the whole like ESPN joke when they always like bring up the fact that he's a father of 3, just like cracks me up. But the Lakers stink.
They're terrible.
I think you saw the first domino fall with Rondo, and I will not be surprised if they literally have 10 different players after the trade deadline on their team.
Yeah.
They were almost that team was almost my disappointment of the year.
They're not good. They don't play defense, and they turn the ball over a lot.
Are they going to trade Anthony Davis?
Maybe.
It reminds me of that year that they got Steve Nash and Dwight Howard with Kobe, and you're just like, how is this team bad? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Well, I mean, just so disappointing and sad.
Russell just games passed him by. You know, respectfully, I love Russell Westbrook, but
I also think
the
league is turning into this thing where people just want to like team up with their friends, which doesn't necessarily mean you guys are going to have good chemistry on the court.
Correct. So I'll be interested to see the moves they make. You know, I'm sure GM LeBron is sitting in his office saying 1 down, 13 to go.
Him and Rob Lowe.
Yeah.
So funny. So, but yeah, LeBron's still dominating, so that's cool.
Yeah.
All right, one more NBA topic. DeMar DeRozan is absolutely hooping. Like he hit two game winners back to back.
I think they said he was like the first one in NBA history to hit back-to-back game winners in back-to-back days. Is
that true?
2 different years.
Bro, that one-legged 3 was absolutely insane.
That was one of the wildest shots I've ever seen taken.
It looked like
it.
Yeah. It was insane. Like,
and he's been balling for Chicago.
Yep.
I mean, he should be up there in the MVP race. He's really, I think they're the number 1 seed right now.
Yeah, I think so. The Bulls are very good. I wonder what it's going to be like. Actually, we do have one more NBA topic that we do have to talk about is Kyrie Irving is back. Part-time player for the Brooklyn Nets. That is still insane to me, by the way. Like, as a teammate, how would you guys feel about having him be a part-time player?
I'd be pissed.
I would feel the same way as I would in a normal job where somebody comes and goes as they please all the fucking time and shows up while you're still working all day, every day.
Yeah.
I'd be fucking annoyed and wondering why they're there. Probably getting paid more than me.
Probably. Yeah. So I think it's going to be an interesting dynamic. I wonder how that bodes for Brooklyn going forward, to be honest. I'll be very curious. I mean, I don't pay attention to the NBA until like February, March, like all-star break. Cause I mean, normally my regular season is once LeBron's in the finals, because that's what it's been, you know, for years, but that probably won't be the case this year, and that's okay.
Oh.
But you know, It is what it
Probably
is.
not.
We'll see what the Lakers do for moves and what the Nets do. I mean, the trading deadline for the NBA is always crazy, which is fun. So it's definitely a fun league with all these guys moving around all the years. But yeah, definitely shout out to DeMar DeRozan. He's been entertaining to watch, extend the range a little bit, hitting threes. It's a good team.
Yep.
All right, college football. SEC absolutely dominates both games. Georgia, Bama. Are any of us surprised?
Oh,
What was it, about 3 weeks, maybe a month ago, you asked who's going to be in the national championship, and I immediately said Bama and Georgia.
Yep.
The two best teams, they've been the two best teams all year, and they're still the two best teams.
Which is crazy because Bama had a down year.
And how disrespectful is it to put Bama as 3-point dogs after they beat Georgia?
Bro, it doesn't matter. They probably just think Georgia had a off game against Bama. I mean, I don't think Georgia's quarterback is that great. So I'll be interested to see. I think Bama wins, but we'll see. Any predictions?
I don't trust Georgia to beat Bama because I haven't seen it. So I'm just going to go with the good old Roll Tide.
Fair enough.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. All right.
Oh, real quick,
Go.
some MLB breaking news.
Well,
Ken Rosenthal has been fired from the MLB Network
Oh, shit.
due to previous criticisms of Rob Manfred.
Oh, okay. And you lost me. That's dumb.
So they've cut ties with him.
And
I like Ken Rosenthal, so
Yeah.
can't criticize your boss.
yeah, I guess
stupid. So stupid. I fucking hate
Yeah.
baseball. Sorry, not baseball.
Anyway,
I
back
just
to our regularly scheduled program.
yeah. Why is this doing this? All right. What the heck? It's my computer. You guys talk. Let's we're gonna get in the NFL. So Morgan, how about you give me your barking dogs? Dog.
So, yeah. Barking dogs.
I
Not
swear to
going to
God,
the
it's a
NFL.
fucking- Okay.
It's not the Packers. Chill out. I once again did
Christ.
not pick the Packers. I could have with the John Madden thing, but I didn't. So credit to me.
No credit.
I
to
award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
My offensive barking, I'm gonna go with two of them this week because they're pretty much a tandem. CJ Stroud and Smith Higbee
Oh,
for Ohio State.
Yeah.
absolutely put on a goddamn show.
What do you have? 349 receiving yards?
He had a day. I don't know if you guys caught any of that game, but it was wild. It was just there was a stretch where
Yeah. He
It
had,
was like
I think he ended it's
4 minutes of gameplay and there was 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, he literally broke like the college football record for most receiving yards in a game.
CJ Stroud went 37 from 46 for 573 yards and 6 touchdowns.
Decent day.
Decent day. Smith Higbee, 16 targets, 15 receptions for 347 yards and 3
47.
tutties.
Damn. That's a fucking day.
That's a day. And the Rose Bowl never fails to disappoint. It's always the best bowl game every year. It's always the best one.
It's one of the best views in sports, I would say, because I got to go out there to see there wasn't a game, but I saw the Rose Bowl physically, and just like the way it looks with like the mountains in the background, it's a beautiful sight up there in Pasadena, California. Yeah. The cooler. Sitting here thinking about these teams. I mean, I've basically thrown 93% of the league into the cooler, but
Put
I
it
think-
in there. Do it.
who are you thinking?
I think a team that has in shambles because of a certain player.
The Buccaneers.
Yeah.
I'm not putting them in the cooler. Are you kidding me?
I think they're a mess.
Nah, they'll be fine. Is
They
Tom
were
Brady,
getting their ass kicked by the Jets.
Tom Brady still their quarterback?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
That's
saying.
that. No, I like that. I'm definitely putting the Colts into the cooler. I don't think they're gonna be able to do anything. That loss to to Vegas is tough.
The AFC is going through Tennessee, Matt.
Wait, Tennessee's the 1 seed right now?
Yes.
Oh my god. I mean, it doesn't matter. The Chiefs are just gonna go back to the Super Bowl anyways, because
Probably.
Ryan Tannehill is not leading a team to a Super Bowl.
Can you imagine Tennessee gets to a Super Bowl?
It's just not fucking happening. So yeah. All right. let's talk about these games. Atlanta versus Buffalo. Bills winning a boring game, 29-15. I don't have any knowledge about most of these 1 o'clock games because Nick and I were at the Pats Jags game. So
That was worth the price of a ticket.
I mean,
Yeah, they put on an absolute clinic.
yeah, I had a good time.
Yeah, Atlanta opened the game with a safety on Buffalo, and then pretty much Buffalo rolled from there.
Bro, I just read your comment for the next game. Oh my God. All right, I'm just moving to the next game because I couldn't help myself. New York Giants versus Chicago. Bears win 29-3. Morgan's quote, Giants franchise is in worse shape than the state of war zone right now. But you're not wrong.
It's really bad shape.
It's in.
Did you see Mike Glennon's stat line?
No.
4 for 12 for 11 yards. The Giants had -10 passing yards on the day.
He played the whole game?
Yeah. They ran the ball 40 times.
Jesus Christ, dude. What the fuck?
But Joe Judge and Daniel Jones sticking around for next year. You got to have faith for the Giants.
They'll be getting Russell Wilson.
That game sucked.
I don't know if he can help.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Yeah, best game of the week, Kansas City versus Cincinnati. Bengals win 34-31 and clinch the AFC North. Congratulations, Nick. Boom, boom, boom. There you go.
Bang.
Yeah, I mean, Joe Burrow is that dude, and Jamar Chase is also that dude.
Joe Burrow is one of the coolest dudes in the league.
Yeah. I mean, I just want to hang out with him so bad. Just have a beer, you know?
Yep.
Have a nice cigar with him.
Yeah.
They went to town. that game.
Jamar Chase had a day.
Yeah, he was over 200 yards, right?
Over 200 yards,
266,
yep.
3 touchdowns.
Yeah, he's nasty, man.
He's very good.
Did you see so they had Burrow mic'd up for the game and he goes over, he's like, hey Jamar. And Jamar's like, what's up? He's like, you look slow on that one. Jamar's just like, get out of here. Which is so ridiculous. It's awesome to see, like, you know, a college, you know, teammates and have that relationship and move forward.
Yeah.
But good for Cincinnati. We'll see if they can do anything in the playoffs. I'll be curious, but Joe Burrow is
Did you see any of that end of the game or any of the highlights from the end of the game?
it was like the 4th and goal that they went for it, right?
3 different times.
3 different times because there was penalty flags.
They didn't get it I think all 3 times, and there was a flag on Kansas City's defense each time. And then Joe Burrow got hurt, and they pulled him out and kicked a field goal because he was hurt. So it was a wild ending.
Well,
but you can't kick a field goal with 50 seconds left and give Mahomes 50 seconds to go down the field and score on you. So
sure
I understand the logic.
I do as well. All right, let's get into it. This is heartbreaking news for John Smith. The Miami Dolphins get their doors blown off 34-3. Dolphins are officially eliminated from playoff contention. He was this close to calling it.
Yep.
This close. But
I knew all along they weren't getting in. So
there he goes. Ben Roethlisberger jogging out for that last time on Heinz Field, probably. God, dude, Myles Garrett is a fucking monster of a human being.
yeah, he's a
Jesus Christ, sorry. But yeah. So Miami's done. Tennessee is apparently the AFC 1 seed now, but I don't take that team serious.
No.
I don't know. They get Derrick Henry back.
I don't take that team serious. Moving on, the Las Vegas Raiders win for John Madden, keep the playoff chance alive 23-20 against the Colts. Now, this leads me to an interesting stat. So what happens is if the Jaguars next weekend, which won't happen, if they beat the Colts and the Chargers and Raiders game at 4 ends in a tie, both of them make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So
That's very specific.
do you just go out if the Jags somehow win, like literally less than a 1% chance, but if they win that game and you're the Raiders and the Chargers, you guys just walk out, look at each other and go, we're just going to take knees the entire game?
Isn't that probably against the rules?
No.
That's throwing a game.
No, it's not. You've seen the Water Boy. How you like my new offense?
There is no chance in any world that happens.
But the thing is if it ends in a tie, they both make the playoffs. And if not, one of them loses, one of them doesn't make the playoffs. I mean, it's just.
Why would you want the other team to make the playoffs?
I would rather knock the other team out or get knocked out. I would not want to tie to get both of us in the playoffs.
I'm just asking the questions. Okay,
That's some soft ass shit there, Matt.
It's just a weird NFL stat that could happen. I'm just saying. That's all.
Okay, and that requires the Jags to happen. Do you really think that's going to happen?
Did I not say it's less than a 1% chance?
That's too
It's
much.
less,
There's 0%
it's less than a
chance. They're not
0% chance. It's
Fair.
in the negatives.
Negatives. All right. Speaking of those Jags, get absolutely fucking annihilated in Foxborough, 50-60. Sorry, Santa, it didn't hit the under. But man, what a bounce back game for the Pats.
Trevor Lawrence looked like dog shit that game.
Yeah. That was.
And I mean that literally and figuratively. He looked like dog shit.
I mean, Bill Belichick with rookie QBs just continues to do what he does. He just absolutely annihilates them. Not even.
It also probably
chance.
didn't hurt their chances that they were facing a completely inept team.
Yeah, I mean,
I do have good news for you, Matt, and I'll give you congratulations. You clinched the #1 pick in the draft, so you're officially on the clock.
woo! Back-to-back years, baby. You start calling us a 2-time, man. They fucking suck, dude.
Yeah,
Oh man,
they're very bad.
I mean, if they take the kid from Oregon, the defensive end, and pair him with Josh Allen, hopefully they can be good. But I don't even know.
I would try and get him some offensive help so he has somebody to throw to.
I am potentially going into team.
What do you mean as somebody to throw to? The Patriots were catching his passes all day long.
True.
They were. Yes, they were. Yeah,
He's got plenty of people to throw to. They're just in different uniforms.
Yeah. Yeah, they're so fucking bad.
It's bad.
It's so bad. Just what an inept fucking franchise.
I don't think they're as inept as the Giants, though.
I mean, at least they fired Urban Meyer. They do get credit for that. But
and at least they're smart enough to not win enough games to be the #1 pick.
Correct. So
Fired the dude because he likes to party. Whatever.
They fired the dude because I'm not getting into this right now. I'm gonna get upset. Let's move on.
What that man did was between him and God.
Definitely not between him and his wife.
I'm pretty sure there was a girl in between them. All right.
Oh fuck! What a fucking joke of a year. Well, hopefully we got a good coach for Trevor Lawrence to hopefully put the pieces back together of the absolute dog shit Urban Meyer's done to him this year.
Yep.
Well, go ahead, Morgan. You look like you had something to say.
I did. So what do you think about them bringing in Mike Zimmer? Because he's probably going to get fired from Minnesota. No.
You need an offensive coach. You got to have somebody that can develop a quarterback. I like Dayball from Buffalo, the OC. You know who I do like? I do like Doug Peterson.
Here's another name, Nathaniel Hackett.
Yep. Yeah. For Green Bay, right?
Yeah. He's our OC. And
so there's something where I can at least have some glimmer of hope to develop Trevor Lawrence. So we'll see. I don't have too much hope, clearly.
No.
Let's talk about something that I literally didn't realize until this morning. Antonio Brown quit mid-game.
You didn't know that last night?
No. I was
the dude
somewhere
Ubered,
else. Ubered away
Stadium.
from fucking MetLife Stadium.
And
Tampa
then
Bay somehow came back
see
and
the
won the
video?
game 28-24. But no, which video?
of him in the Uber.
Yeah.
No.
He was like, "This is gonna be great footage for my Netflix special."
So apparently that guy that was his Uber is one of his buddies.
I heard that he's apparently driven other NFL players.
He drives a lot of people.
Yeah,
I mean,
because he asked the police to give him a ride to the airport, and they said no.
yeah. What a wild dude.
Yeah, I don't know.
Absolutely wild.
He's just an
I mean, hey, I think we've all been there. Sometimes you just have enough.
The thing is like, what triggered that? Like,
he's a fucking crazy lunatic.
well,
He's a narcissist. He's like the Kanye West of football.
I don't mean to bring it up, but you're watching somebody with CTE actively still play football. Like that hit he took years ago when Montez Burfict hit him in the head. He literally has not been the same human being. Like it knocked a couple screws loose. Like he is fucking. I hope he gets help. At the end of the day, I really hope he gets help because
I think he's just an asshole.
He looked happy as shit to me. I don't know.
That is like, and the thing is too, is like they talk about it with CTE. What happens is like you can't control impulses. And like, obviously that was an impulse fucking decision to rip off your shoulder pads and jersey mid-game, throw it on the ground and just run out of the stadium.
Even
like,
some of his ex-teammates though that are friends with him just say like Like the
He's
CTE
that.
is a factor, but he is also just a person who historically just makes bad choices.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, I just think it takes it to the next level. No, you know.
He's just an asshole. is really what
Yeah,
it is.
I think that's more of it. Than not.
that's what he is. He's an asshole.
All right.
I do think he's like a self-centered guy.
Yeah, well, for sure. But regardless,
But it's
I
like
hope
the
he does
silver
get the help.
bullet serum. Amplifies the bad and the good.
It does. It does. Let's move on to the Philadelphia Eagles beating the football team, winning 20-16 and clinching a playoff spot.
In FedEx Field, trying to kill Jalen Hurts.
I mean, Jalen Hurts, how cool was that though? Picked up the fans, took pictures with them. Like, he's just the fucking man. Like,
yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's a very that's how you win fans over to like stay the quarterback in Philly, I think, especially
in Philly.
Yeah. So he's definitely man of the people. I'm
Yeah.
happy for Jalen Hurts. I've always liked him since Bama. You know, it's I never thought he could like be like this to like a point, you know, in the NFL, like from his early days at Bama, but I'm glad to see the development. So I'm happy.
He's a guy that he's easy to root for.
Easy to root for, and he's super nice, dude. Like,
Yeah.
So I'm happy for him. Let's move on. The Rams versus Baltimore. What the fuck is going on with Stafford? Rams win 20-19, and Huntley plays well in Lamar's absence again. So is Baltimore's eliminated from playoff contention now, right?
Not yet, no.
Not yet.
Depends on what happens tonight. So if Cleveland, I think, beats Pittsburgh,
Yeah.
it
What do we think
puts
the likelihood of that is?
Colts in. And if Pittsburgh wins, it keeps Baltimore and Pittsburgh and
So-
Indy all alive. I don't know. I haven't.
The only way
AFC.
Pittsburgh can get in, I saw it earlier, is they
I
have
think
to
they have to win out.
they have to win out, and the Jags have to beat the Colts.
Yeah.
So you're not getting in.
Probably not.
So
Yeah.
But-
Did you guys have the Steelers?
I think I picked the Ravens for the division, if I remember
You do?
correctly. Yeah. I mean, if the Ravens don't have literally 60% of their roster get hurt and have COVID, I think they probably do win that division, but that's the NFL. That is the
Yeah.
NFL. Let's move on to some of these later games here. We got Denver versus the Chargers. Chargers roll 34-13. And Chargers probably going to make the playoffs. We'll see if Herbert and them can make some noise. I mean, that team is just – it's a night and day for that defensive line when they have Bosa and when they don't have Bosa.
We almost had that right, Matt. We just decided it was for a playoff spot, not the division.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we could make a little wager on the game for next weekend.
We'll bet a hat. We'll go with a hat of the winning team.
Hat of your choice. Let's go with that. Because you're really gonna want to wear an Oakland Raiders hat. You're the guy that has said
Out of all the hats, it would probably be a Raiders hat.
you are the guy on this podcast that literally said, not even
I know what I
Funko
said.
Pop is coming into my house if it's not Green Bay Packers.
It's not going to come to his house anyway. He's not going to win. Never has to worry about it.
Just saying.
I think the Raiders will win.
I think a little $35 limit. I'll take the Chargers, for a hat.
So you're
All right,
betting against the ghost of John Madden. Good luck with that.
All right. What's the bet here? I'm writing
35.
it down.
It's going to be a hat. Could be a winter hat. Could be whatever, person's choices. $35 limit. Boom.
Hat of choice.
Yeah.
And what's the game?
Chargers,
Raiders.
versus
Winner
Raiders.
gets in the playoffs.
Yep. I got the Chargers.
I'm going with John Madden. I think
Perfect.
I trust Derek Carr more than I trust Justin Herbert.
It
Sure.
is sealed.
I disagree, but that's okay. All right.
It's in writing. That's it.
Signed, sealed, delivered. Let's move on. We're almost out of here, folks. We got Houston versus San Fran. 49ers keep rolling 23-7. Where's San Fran stand playoff wise?
They are in right now, and if they win, they're in. If they lose to the Rams next week and the Saints win, the Saints are in.
Ugh. Nobody wants the Saints to make the playoffs. Yuck.
Nope.
That's a game that you put on fucking Nickelodeon if the Saints make the playoffs.
Right. But I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Watching this game.
All right, let's get into Knicks Dallas Cowboys. Classic McCarthy letdown game. Cardinals
Told
dominate
you.
on defense, 25-22. Dallas is still going to make the playoffs. Arizona's going to make the playoffs.
Yeah. That game was, the throwaway game, whatever. They're still up.
I know McCarthy. I told you. Classic letdown right after a big dominant win every time. It never fails.
Unless next week is not great for them. I don't see it affecting their momentum really. I think they're still pretty good.
I mean, they can play defense, so
They're still one of the better teams, like one of the all around better teams. In the
Any-
NFC.
They're gonna lose in the first round.
we'll
There
see.
you have it.
They're gonna be the 3 seed and play San Francisco, and San Francisco's gonna run it down their fucking throat.
Ooh, that's
Think San Francisco would beat them.
yeah.
Yes. I think
And
Philly will
Brentford.
beat them.
No, come on. That's ridiculous. Let's move on. Carolina versus Saints. I literally don't give a shit about this game.
That's
Saint-
why there's
Saint-
no notes there. I just gave you
Saints
the
win
score.
18-10. If anybody has any thoughts on that game, sorry. Detroit versus Seahawks. This is a story we've been talking about it kind of, the second half of the year. Seahawks roll in what is likely the last game for Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll together, 51-29. I mean, I've been saying all along, I think he ends up on the Giants. You guys think where do you think Russell Wilson ends up next year? And it's full rebuild time in Seattle. So,
Yeah. I could see Russell go to like Denver.
mhm.
Pretty much anywhere they've said Aaron Rodgers can go. That's
Yeah.
probably where Russell's considered. I mean, Pittsburgh, but
Yeah.
I don't see any of these guys going to Pittsburgh. That place is a fucking shit.
I think Matt's pick of the Giants seems like it would be good.
I think that's probably
Especially-
a logical place for him.
Especially with the wife and everything.
Or maybe Tom Brady retires and he goes to Tampa.
Yeah. I mean, I heard the Saints too for Russell Wilson, which is interesting.
Do you think there's
Hey,
any
Sean
chance Tom Brady
Payton.
retires?
No.
I don't either.
That dude's gonna play until he turns into.
Is there
dust on the
another
field.
record that he's moving towards that he could get before he retires?
Fuck, probably.
At this point, I think he's
Does
just.
he like have all the good ones?
He's got all the good ones. I think he's just running the laps at this point, to be honest.
You think he stays till 8 and then he dips?
I think he's wants 10, to be honest.
I don't think that's impossible.
I don't know. Ask
They get-
KG about the
Hey.
impossible.
Hey, they get 8 this year somehow. That ain't impossible. 2 more years, they 4-peat down there. Oh, can you imagine? That would-
Ridiculous.
That would be incredible. But yeah, I'll be curious. I wonder if Pete Carroll is going to retire. I think they let him retire, not fire him. But yeah, I'm interested to see where. And really quick on Russell Wilson, is he like still that guy?
No.
I don't think so either.
I don't think he ever was, to be honest.
He's
I
a
think he
has-been.
definitely had a window where he was the guy.
I don't think because
Well, I mean,
he
I'm not
always
talking
had
about-
that defense of Legion of Boom, and then he had Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah.
So you think
Yeah.
he was more of a product of the system?
I think he's a product of the talent that's around him.
Fair. I don't
Fair
disagree.
enough.
I'll be curious to see how he does in his next chapter of his career. Morgan, let's talk about it. Green Bay Packers absolutely dominate Sunday Night Football, 37-10. They're 2 wins away from LA. How you feeling today?
Like I said, 2 wins away from LA. That's all I'm thinking about. I mean, we played Sean Mannion at quarterback, so I didn't really take too much away from our defense, other than we shut down Dalvin Cook, so that was nice. Rodgers was throwing absolute fucking unguardable dimes to Devontae,
Oh, yes.
but
Dropping it in a fucking
I-
bucket.
there's like 3 throws he had last night. There was one that he threw to Devontae where the guy had his arm up and the ball just dipped, and Devontae didn't even move his goddamn hands. It
Yeah.
literally just fell into his hands.
Yeah,
That connection's unreal.
it is. I mean, Devontae Adams he's something else, man.
And I wish I was going to be not working next week so I could see Jordan Love in action, because I want to see him. He looked good for the couple minutes, the one drive he was in. But
Nice.
yeah, all I'm thinking, two wins, and we're in LA.
I think that's a good thought, and hopefully it happens. Because if not, you're going to be a miserable prick.
Yeah.
All right, let's preview this Monday night game going that just kicked off. Cleveland versus Pittsburgh in Big Ben's last home game. Does Pittsburgh get it done?
Yeah,
No.
I think Pittsburgh's gonna win.
I think Pittsburgh's too
Big
much.
Ben's
mess.
gonna give a good send off to himself.
I think the Cleveland front is going to be on top of Ben all night.
I can't picture him losing with everybody in attendance tonight. I think they win.
I can. He's Big Ben. He always does the opposite of what everybody thinks.
Fair. But no, I mean, let's
Historically
so
accurate.
Let's talk about his career because obviously he, deserves to be discussed. He was in the class with Manning and Rivers. He's the last one. I mean, got 2 Super Bowl rings.
Yeah.
I mean, probably first ballot, right?
Oh God, yeah.
No.
I mean, he still had the 6 or 7 years with the Killer Bees with him and Bell and Brown and
that offense was fucking nasty.
Keith.
Always disappointed though in the end. Always disappointed. I'll be interested to see where the Steelers go here in the next few years. Because I
think they need to get rid of Tomlin.
I mean, they just don't fire coaches.
No, they don't. They've had 3 coaches in their history, which is wild.
Yeah, it's insane. Like, so I don't think it's full. Go ahead, Nick.
I was gonna say, because we're talking about it and stuff. Do you think that his past has any effect on his legacy?
No.
As a quarterback?
No.
Nope. It doesn't matter at all.
This isn't the MLB. The writers don't care about that shit.
Yeah. I mean, Ray Lewis killed a guy. Like,
I mean, Ben Roethlisberger's had a case against
Ben Roethlisberger,
him, so, like,
I believe, went to jail for manslaughter.
Who?
Ben Roethlisberger. Was he charged with manslaughter
No.
or assault?
No, he was. It was a couple bathroom stall incidences. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think he was charged with manslaughter.
I don't think so. No, we act like we don't have Google.
I'm gonna look this up on the old machine.
Matt, you've got 4 goddamn computers in front of you.
Excuse me, 5. Don't disrespect it.
Whatever.
I got you guys peeking on the 3rd monitor there. Roethlisberger.
Right here, he blew a .12 when he took a breathalyzer test. And he was charged with manslaughter and handed a 30-day jail sentence. Support center did not cover the event as the sexual assault allegations. So, killed a man.
Brick killed the guy. Frick, where did you get a hand grenade?
Huh, that's weird. I didn't know that.
Fucking, he just has to pull a Caitlyn Jenner and nobody will give a shit that she killed somebody in her car.
All right. that's where
those are the facts, kids.
that's where we're going tonight.
That's what happened.
I think Pittsburgh gets it done tonight. So we'll see.
I agree.
Okay. 2 more things. Kraken talk, baby.
Well, there would be some Kraken talk if there were any Kraken to talk about. All the fucking games have been postponed until about the 10th. They haven't won a game since last year.
It has not. We just lost. Who was it? We lost to an injury for the year. Can't think of his name, but we just.
I forget. Yeah, I just saw the post though of him sitting down in the locker room getting looked at. But they've lost 4 games in a row since before the postpones have begun. All the NHL, I believe, is pushing their games a couple weeks.
There's a few games that are played.
Yeah.
There,
so
there's a big Omicron
can't really
outbreak.
Can't really talk about them too much, but you gotta just hope they'll bounce back.
You know what? This little break right here, they get healthy. You know what I mean? Yep. We'll start skating hard on that ice, and we'll make that hopefully that playoff push.
Hopefully, I mean, right now we are dead last in the West Pacific, but hey, somebody's got to be there.
Crazy things have happened.
Crazier things have happened.
Let's talk about Nick's question of the week. First question of 2022. And then
the first question of 2022 is a bit of a cop-out, but it's also just a nice way to see if we can interact with more people. We're going to post our categories for the things we selected, and we're going to see what you guys had answers with. If you agreed with any of us, if you disagree with any of us, throw your answers in there. Throw your nominees.
Mainly me. I know.
Yeah, I have a big feeling that nobody's going to fucking agree with anything you said. So
you agreed with Candace Parker with me, so
you agreed with Candace Parker with me. I said it first. So,
I wrote it first. The Bishop Sycamore story is easily the best story.
That might actually be the best story.
You know what, Morgan? Out of all your shit picks, I think you had the best pick of the night with that one. So there you go.
That was a good one.
I know the 3 Green Bay picks aren't going to be favorites, but
I mean, let's be real. The actual favorite one is Giannis just absolutely dunking Morgan through a fucking basketball hoop and winning a championship.
I wasn't on the court. I didn't get.
We have we're gonna put all 7 categories and give us an answer for each of them.
Perfect.
And if you have any of the same ones, just tell us same.
Sounds great. Well, that's gonna conclude it for us. Our first show of the new year. Morgan, I know you want to say it. First one of the 2022. Let's start the year off right for you. Go ahead.
Go Pack, go. Go Pack, go. Go Pack, go. Go Pack, go. Go Pack, go.
I'm just gonna let her keep going. Keep going. Well, for me and the boys, we will catch you guys next week, which we don't know what we're doing next week, but we'll keep you updated. Always entertaining. Perfect.